this is the final update for this drama. So it's a great way to kind of wrap up 2021, hopefully wrap up this situation other than writing the $5,000 check. This has been an ongoing kind of chaotic last 6 months of 2021. So that is the update. Kind of terrible news at the end of the year, but it gives me an opportunity to start the new year fresh and with a lot of optimism for the adventures, hopefully less chaotic adventures that await in 2022.
Hi, I'm Steve. As 2020 rocked the world, I decided my life needed a shakeup, and so I started teaching myself to paint on YouTube. I left my dream job and moved across the country to the mountains. At a mile high, Lee, South Dakota is an old mining town going through an exciting revitalization spurred by scientific exploration and technology, research and development. I'm here to simplify life, explore new passions, and reconnect with what's most important. I don't exactly know what lies ahead, but I do know there's sure to be plenty to see and learn. Join me on this grand adventure.
Hey gang, welcome back to the channel and Happy New Year. So this week on the vlog, I'm making even more sweets for a New Year's Eve party and the final, I hope, update on the robbery that happened in May. And at the end of the video, stick around because I'll share my framework for goal setting for the new year. Okay, let's start with the kind of icky part and let's wrap this up because this is all 2021. As many of you know, I was moving cross country at the end of May, actually Memorial Day weekend in 2021. I stopped in Kansas City and my U-Haul and my car and everything I own was stolen.
This is insane. My U-Haul, 15-foot U-Haul and car were parked there last night. I have no idea where it is. I don't even know. I guess I'm gonna call the police department to try to find out.
I'm not going to rehash that whole story. If you are interested or haven't seen those videos, I'll link to them in the description. But part of that process and getting life back on track was the damage to the U-Haul. This was a claim that was denied in August by my insurance company, Allstate. They write their policy so it excludes any trucks over 14,500 pounds, I believe. 14,000 pounds. And all of U-Haul's trucks, except for their small 10-foot truck, are 14,500 and above. And so the damage to the U-Haul, of course, was excluded. However, before I moved, I called my agent and asked them if I needed to buy supplementary insurance. And in that conversation, it was indicated that I did not. I was covered. I should have had them follow up with an email, or I should have followed up with an email. But until those things happen, you don't really think it's going to happen to you. And so that's the biggest lesson, I would say. There's that once, hopefully in a lifetime, situation where everything you own is stolen and it's all in one truck or attached to one truck. Make sure you get things in writing. Make sure that you follow cross all the T's and dot all the I's that you can think of. So I had asked to file a claim on their error omission policy, which covers agents in this sort of situation if there's an error or if there's an omission. I reported Allstate also to the Arkansas Insurance Commission. That gave them 15 days to review this case. They came back to me New Year's Eve and said, we have done an internal investigation and determined that there is no coverage for this loss. Thank you very much. Good luck with your life. There's not a whole lot I can do. It's about, I think, $4,600 worth of damage. And honestly, I don't have the written verification of what was told to me on the phone, so I can't really prove it's my word against the agent's word. And of course, they make more money from their agents than they do an individual customer. I'm not indicating that there was anything nefarious behind the scenes, but they're obviously going to protect their business. That's what they do. They're an insurance company. And so I am going to be out of pocket almost $5,000 here at the beginning of the year. That said, I'm so grateful to all of my friends and family who came around me in this last 6 months and really helped me make it through. This is the final update for this drama. So it's a great way to kind of wrap up 2021, hopefully wrap up this situation other than writing the $5,000 check. This has been an ongoing kind of chaotic last 6 months of 2021, in addition to the pandemic and everything that's going on. So that is the update. Kind of terrible news at the end of the year, but it gives me an opportunity to start the new year fresh and with a lot of optimism for the adventures, hopefully less chaotic adventures that await in 2022. Now let's go to making sweets and New Year's Eve parties, because that's much more fun. So we made it past the Christmas holiday, and it's that slump week between Christmas and New Year's where not a whole lot happens. So today we're going to make Grandma Rice's snack mix. This is a delicious snack mix that my grandmother makes, and it is so addictive that I can literally eat a whole batch by myself. That's the reason I'm making it and taking it to a New Year's Eve party this week, so that it's out of the house, but I can still enjoy it. It's so easy to make, so let's get started. So there are only a few ingredients for this snack mix. Of course, we have Chex, Caro syrup, mixed nuts, brown sugar, and butter. What could go wrong with that? So the first thing is to measure the brown sugar, syrup, and butter. The butter, it's just 1 cup. So 2 of these small sticks of butter. We'll put those, and I'm going to put them directly in the pan, and then we'll put that on the stove. All right, so we have butter, then we need 1.5 cups of brown sugar. That's about 1.5 cups-ish. 1 cup of butter and 1/4 cup of dark Caro syrup. So all right, now we have this on the stove. We will begin to melt the butter and the syrup, mixing with the brown sugar. All right, everything's almost melted here. Okay, and then as it comes to a boil, we're going to add 1/2 teaspoon of baking soda. So we'll stir that in to the sauce. Okay, while we are waiting for this to come to a boil, we can combine the nuts and the Chex Mix in a bowl, a large bowl, that we will then microwave it in. put this delicious goodness in there, and we will go for 1 minute. All right, so again, we want to turn the cereal without crushing it as much as possible, mixing it as thoroughly as possible. Okay, now that it's stirred, we'll put it back in. Another minute. Minute number 2. All right, minute number 2 is done. So let's turn the mix once more. Okay, I think that's good. Let's put it in for minute number 3. And minute number 5. Okay, the final step is to transfer all of this to a 9x13 pan. It is pretty hot because it's obviously syrup. The butter and the syrup is really warm, so it will burn you, so we'll just be as careful as possible. Well, y'all, that is it for Grandma Rice's delicious Christmas snack mix. I've actually made this with not only mixed nuts, but I've put dried cranberries in there, so you can do that as well. It makes it, it gives, you know, a little tartness with the sweet. I imagine you could mix M&Ms as well. I would probably mix the M&Ms once it is cool completely, and then mix in the M&Ms, obviously, so they don't melt all over the place. But it's a great, super simple, super delicious snack mix that everybody loves. Yep, that's it. Perfect treat for the holiday season, or really any time throughout the year. So I promised I'd share my framework for goal setting. Now, I'm familiar with all the kind of most popular ones like SMART goals, etc. My problem is actually follow through. So there's a few things that help me. I put a reminder on my calendar the last Friday of every month to remind me to look at my goals. I know that many people will look at their goals every day or every week, and that is probably ideal. But for me, I found that if I have a reminder every month, I know at least once a month that I'm going to go to my goals. Now, when I go to my goals, I have a Google Doc with my goals or my objectives or my intentions, whatever you want to call them. I'm just using goals for sake of conversation. I go through this document and I actually spend some time thinking about my goals. Not about what I'm doing or not doing, but why are they my goals? Are they still in alignment with what's important to me this year, this month, the next few years, I give myself the time to think about my goals, because I think that's something that I have maybe not done as well in the past, and maybe why I haven't been as successful with goals is because I haven't given myself time to really think about my goals. I've made the goals and I've made plans and I do, and my brain is always going, but I'm not taking time to actually think, is this the right goal? Is it still the right goal? And is it aligned with my intentions, who I want to be in the world? So I think that's very important. Once I have this document, there's a few ways that I have organized it over several years, and I'm constantly adapting, even this last week. The first framework I use is at the beginning of the document, I have my identity component. Who do I want to be in the world? This includes a mission and a vision statement, kind of what is my overall mission, and then what is the vision for how I want to be in the world. These are predicated by I statements. I'm the type of man that, whatever. I'm the type of person that, and fill in the blanks. That is my intention of how I want to be, how I want to be perceived, and how I want to move through the world. I think identity is very important, which you'll hear a little later in another framework. Leading into the mission and vision statement are my core values. I have about 3 or 4 core values that are defining for me. And so I found the things that I actually value, because I realized that if I identify my true values, then I'm more likely to follow through. So these are things that I know are actually going to motivate me. I think that's a second component. Number one, who do you want to be in the world? And then your values actually being the motivators for whatever comes later in the goal. I think if you set those two things up ahead of time, you're much better positioned. Even if you never go back to this document, you're much better positioned to achieve your goals. So, what are the frameworks? The first framework I use in organizing the goals after I have the identity, after I have mission and vision, after I have my values clarified, is the 3 threes. Somebody out there came up with this. It is not original to me, but it's 3 things to start or start doing, 3 things to stop or stop doing, and 3 supporting objectives. So, for example, one of the things that I want to stop this year is compulsive use of Netflix and streaming services. So 3 things to do, 3 things to stop doing, and 3 supporting objectives. How are you going to get there? The second or final component in organizing my goals is kind of a bullet point system, and this is the system that I came across this week. It was on the John Deloney show. He has a podcast on YouTube, but it was really helpful for me because I had already started doing this. The first bullet point is identity. Who do you want to be in the world? Get clear about who you want to be. If you've done the other, that is already set. After identity, goals about mind and body. What do I want to do in my body and my mind this year? Bullet point 3 is money. What do I want to do with my money? Or how do I want to manage my money? This could also be career as well. So you have identity, mind and body, money. Then next is time and talents. How do I want to spend my time, and how do I want to develop or use my talents? So if you kind of can structure your goals within the broad context of 3 things you want to start, 3 things you want to stop, and 3 supporting objectives, then you can kind of see if those align under these bullet points, and if you have balance, if there are any things that you need to adjust. So again, it's identity, mind, body, money, time, and talents. I hope that's helpful, and I hope that you achieve much success, however you define that, for yourself in the coming year. If you like this video, please like and subscribe, and I will see you on the next video.